What's up, guys? First of all, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. You know, first drop down to 135, and I wanted to challenge myself. The weight cut alone was a challenge. Hadn't been down there in about 2.5 years, I believe, and I wanted to do it in fashion by calling out the number one ranked guy at 135. You know, he had a great fight. His last fight, he made some noise and definitely put him in contention to be the number one contender. And so I wanted to challenge myself. My managers thought it was a good call. My team, everyone, and you know, I had to stand out if I was making the drop to 135. I couldn't just fight some a Gallagher or someone. You know, it's just who's the best out there, the number one contender, Ricky Bandejas. Let's make the drop to 135. Let's do it in fashion. And you know, a lot of adversity coming into this round, this fight as well. You know, that being with my training partner TJ Dillashaw, hit me with the motion last week. You know, I felt like I lost the fight, and so you know, it was making adjustments for myself as well, and just going in there and just reanalyzing what I'm doing here, what I'm fighting for. You know, and I've done it before. I've been around some of my training partners that lost big fights. You know, that being with Cub Swanson and having a fight the week after. So I knew I could pull it off and I knew I could do it. I just had to, you know, sit down with my team, sit down with my family, and sit down with a lot of prayer and just get mentally tough again and realize what I was going to be fighting for this week. And, you know, pull through it. First round came through. Ricky caught one of my kicks, and you know, I think it probably blew out my meniscus, and had to fight through that round with a blown out meniscus. And so, you know, nothing from him. He's a great fighter. He's mentally tough, but my willpower to win is just a lot better than his you know, mental toughness. My willpower to go out there and dominate a fight, you know, it shines. And I lost my first round in my whole career, and it's devastating for me. You know, it feels like I lost a fight because I lost my first round in my career, and you know, it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna get better. I got a lot of things to work on, but first and foremost, I'm gonna go to Spain on the you know, the 31st, and take some time and come back a better man.
Well, can you talk about your how you doing? You talk about your mentality during the fight and kind of how it was playing out, because obviously he was a very stiff opponent. He gave you some tough looks out there. Great defensive wrestling, great striking as well. So, kind of what adjustments did you have to make, and what was your mentality like as the fight was playing out?
Yeah, you know, I was so when I got back from New York, I was thinking how would I beat myself, you know, and I started watching the Jeremy Spoon fight, and I realized how much he ran from me, and I was like, okay, I don't think Ricky's gonna run from me as much, you know. I think he's gonna try to make a statement as well on me, and then when I went in there, he ran a lot, you know. He didn't want to stand and trade. There's a couple times I tried to track him down and bait him in, but he obviously you know, he showed his mental toughness with Gallagher on staying composed. So his composure was good, and sticking to his game plan was good. So I got a little over anxious and got caught, but it was trying to set baits, and you know, he didn't take them, and so we just had to readjust, slow things down, really try to let him bite on some of the fakes, and if not, just stand and try to trade. Shoot, I was even at the end of the fight, like he said, let's trade, and I said, all right, let's do it. And he threw a kick, and I still stood there. I said, are we trading? Are you gonna keep running? You know, because I'm down to keep trading. I mean, you've seen it with William Joplin, but you know, you know, make the adjustments to win first and foremost. You know.
Can you give us an idea on the knee? You said you injured. I know it's kind of early. I mean, do you have an idea kind of what you might be facing and how long it might keep you out of action?
You know, meniscus ain't too bad. You could turn around off a meniscus right away. So, you know, I definitely fought 4 times in less than 10 months, and I like to keep that going. But in reality, I need to step back a little bit, maybe like a couple weeks before I get back into training. Let my management go to work on the re-signing with Bellator. But you know, I'm always training. Our team's so professional. TJ was training this week. You know, Aaron Pico will be in this week training as well. You know, so all of us, you know, we're just killers that love to train, love to fight, and our passion shows it.
And last thing for me, I mean, as far as your future, you got to talk with Bellator about it. But I mean, what weight class is it? I mean, is this where you'll be forever? Do you see yourself bouncing and contending in 2 different classes? What do you feel your future lies?
Hell, I'll fight in all 3 weight classes that I can. You know, it doesn't matter to me. The main thing is the experience of martial arts. You know, to show true martial artists. I know a lot of guys been trying to go up and do it, but in reality, I was the first one to do it, man. I've done it on a lower stage. I don't. nothing was handed to me from the beginning, and I knew that. I wasn't a big name coming out of wrestling in college. I was ranked number 2 in the country. Unfortunately, didn't get to showcase my skill my final year, but I knew what I had in me. Joe Stevenson knew what I had in me. We reevaluated my goal set, and I'm competing at every weight class, and I'm getting stronger, and I'm getting technically better in every weight class, and I'm not afraid. I got the best nutrition, strength and conditioning guy out there, Sam Calavita. He's been my second dad. He's known me since I was born, and he knows how to work my body. You see me tonight. Nothing was due to the challenge of a weight cut for me tonight, and it wouldn't have been the difference in TJ's fight either. He just got caught, but I'm here to make noise. I could fight at any weight class. I want to prove that I'm the best martial artist that to step foot in the cage. And I'm gonna do that one day.
Juan, congratulations. What is the difference in fighting in all these different weights? Like, are you faster at one and stronger at the other? And do you fight a little bit differently when you go in the different divisions?
Having Sam Calavita, that's why it makes it so remarkable. I'm able to do the same exact thing at 135, 145, 150, 155, and if they had 160 here, you'd see the same thing. Constant pressure, constant explosiveness, and just wearing people down. He's the best. He knows I could compete with muscle. He knows I can compete very lean, and at my optimal at 145.
You've been around a long time and you know how the game goes. I wanted to ask you about your reaction to Fedor as a fighter. I'm sure you were a fan of his, and as you watched him when you were a kid, to see a guy like that go out the way he did, with a one punch and everything. As a fellow fighter, what does that say to you?
Man, for MMA, the first punch is always the most deadliest. We've seen it in the TJ fight. We've seen it in the Fedor fight. You're not ready for the impact, and that's where I made some adjustments on my warm up this morning and tonight, going out there, being ready for the first punch. Because you're not sure how much the impact's going to take. And you're tentative, you're scared. Your emotions aren't clear on how hard this guy's going to hit. So it's always the first couple punches that are deadly. But once you're able to withstand some of the impact, you mentally take note what's going on in there. And so I think he could be back if he wanted to. He is a legend, like you said, and it was unfortunate to see him go out like that. Yeah.
Hey Juan, right over here. Congratulations on the win. Those of us in the know, we know how great you've been over your career. Just look at your record. But do you feel like tonight was the night where you reached sort of a greater audience, just with the fact this was a huge card and a huge fight for you?
Yeah, this was the biggest fight of my life, biggest stage of my life as well. Cub was asking some things on when we got here, what we did, and I said, I kind of chuckled. I said, I don't know, this was the biggest fight I've ever had in my life, at the biggest stage. So we'll find out when we get to the hotel. It's one of those things. But no, yeah, definitely honored for the platform that Bellator has given me to showcase my skill, and I couldn't be any happier.
And how much does it mean for your team? You reference them a lot, but that is like an all-star team. You've got Cub Swanson, Joe Daddy Stevenson, TJ Dillashaw in your corner. Like, how much did it mean to represent the win for them tonight?
Yeah, like I was saying in the statement, man, it was a lot of emotion going into this fight, and I know a lot of fighters say I do got the best team for me around me that elevate just every part of my character around me, and I'm honored to have that, and it's showcasing. I'm around. My manager fought, my coaches fought, my training partners fight. I mean, these guys, I take their information that they give me and I take it to a literal sense and add it into my career, and that's why I've been so successful thus far. Thank you, guys.
Next up, we'll have Scott Coker.